All right, what's up, guys? This is First Person Sports, low quality stream today. We're going to be going over newly acquired Illinois transfer from Louisville, Tre White. He's pictured here as number 22 for Louisville in red. He's played 2 years. He started at USC, had averaged about 9 points a game. Not a spectacular rookie season or freshman season for a highly regarded top end prospect, like a 4-star prospect who was in the top 100. I think some places had him higher than others. Like I saw one where he was in top 35, another one where he was 65th. So his kind of range of grades kind of vary depending on which scout you're looking at. But he's played 2 seasons in college basketball, had a jump in production last season at Louisville, yet that team struggled heavily. He was kind of just another piece on a failing ship. And he goes to his 3rd school in 3 years. So that is a little alarming. Like, I'm not a huge fan of these players that continually need to feel the need to shake up their situation. I don't bemoan the player, but I do question, their motivations and if this is the right developmental path for them. Tre White is one of those guys. You'll see here he's playing with Sky Clark, who was a former Illinois recruit who is also transferring on his 3rd year. He's probably the prime or the prize possession of this Louisville team. He did have a good season production-wise, but we're going to watch some Tre White offense and defensively, see how he matches up. He's 6'7", he's long and lengthy. He's coming in to be a scorer on this Illinois team. A lot of people have said he's the Quincy Guerrier replacement. I don't necessarily believe that. Other people have said he could be a Marcus Damask replacement if Damask decides to leave. I think that's more plausible, but still not entirely like one for one. So his role is kind of up in the air at the moment. The question is he even going to be a starter next year? Is he going to be a role player? Is he going to be a big time scorer? What does Brad Underwood have envisioned for him in this offense? And the strategy for Illinois, at least in terms of recruiting in the transfer portal and going after players, outside of like all the advantages of being a high major school who has all the resources and an AD and Josh Whitman who is willing to spend on the program, and this is a basketball school at Illinois, so they're willing to do that. His new philosophy is he's definitely targeting the portal heavily. I don't think he wants to be that developmental coach who recruits a lot of top 100 players or just finds a lot of smaller value. He wants to go digging in the transfer portal. And Tre White's an interesting name. So we're going to watch some of his game tape here. This is against North Carolina. This was a very good North Carolina team, obviously, a number 1 seed in the tournament. Went down actually in the Sweet 16. But, we're going to watch some Tre White. Just to get a feel for his game. See how he might fit into an Underwood system here. And we're only going to watch one game today. Let's turn this down a bit. I really do want to watch his defense possessions, how he maneuvers offensively, and I want to watch his shot as well. So if you see him here, he's got a nice body type. Like for an NBA player, he's got those wide shoulders. Strong legs, and he's tall. Like, he's one of the taller players on the court right now, and he's kind of like a 2 to 3. I feel like he's a player who could play and defend multiple positions. So I really like that about him. Like, in terms of just prototype alone, this is good. They're getting dismantled right now. He was open in the corner. So he doesn't pick up ball. Yeah, he guards like the 4. So let's see them run this set. He's pretty lackadaisical in terms of his approach. Okay, let's watch that. Tre White. That shuts down the momentum. So just a ball screen, gets a good matchup, gets a little bit of space, and skies. So let's watch a shot here. Pretty good rotation, nice extended arms here, decent balance. I mean, he's going against a big shot blocker and a much bigger, lengthier guy than him. So he has to fade a little bit here. In terms of his release point, it's a little bit too far back for me. It's not like, yeah, he starts very high at the shoulders, but it is good shooting form in terms of his 90-degree angle on his arm. And he gets good length on his jump. Like, he gets really high on his jump. So he can shoot over a guy like this. Like, this is a great situation here. You see, he can shoot over back out. Look how high he is on this jump. His feet are in a good spot. His shoulders are squared up. And then he just needs to extend the arm and finish strongly there. I'm not in love with his release, or I'm not in love with his windup. But look, he has the ball out in front here. He just tucks it too deeply behind his ear for me to be like a truly effective shooter. But he's accurate and he's got good bounce, so that works. I mean, that's a good play. So quiets the crowd there a little bit. He's on help. He loses the man baseline. So you want him to be aware of that. Like, so they're in a 2-3, it looks like. Yeah, they're in a 2-3. This guy, their center, the middle of the 2-3, goes for the ball. That's his drop responsibility there. He loses that. He's watching for the pass out, but doesn't quite work. Not a great read defensively. Yeah, they're at a high level. This is also a really rough Louisville team. His body type, what does it remind me of? It just in terms of how he looks, he kind of looks like Aaron Gordon to me, like with the headband. But obviously not as strong or athletic as that guy. I don't think anyone's as strong as athletic as Aaron Gordon. He's pretty good at both. So he runs off a screen, kind of lackadaisically, doesn't hit the screen hard enough. Yeah, like they set a down screen. This is the action here. The action is to free him up. So they got a high ball screen. Doesn't really, I mean, this is just a weak screen. Like, there's no attempt at the screen here. So the action never materializes. It's a drive in, draws a few. It's a decent shot, but, I mean, he's kind of standing on the point, the 3 line, this whole possession as well, too. Kind of just a lazy set. Kind of a lazy set. Yeah, I agree with what he just said. Good hands there. There's a good read. There's a good read. And there's that length. Like, look at his arms there. Not a lot of 3 guards can do that. And he's on transition. There's a talent difference here. But going back to what I was saying, good read. He gets a hand on the ball. He gets going in transition. That's something I love to see. Baycott just says no. What? This Louisville team is just undisciplined. Tre White gets a good hand on the shot there, so he doesn't give up on the play, even though it's kind of a chaotic scramble. He gets back on D. There's so much happening in this play. He gets an arm out. At least in terms of what I'm seeing, he's definitely among the most useful players so far on this team. I want to see more game action, but my God, they're so sloppy. Oh my God, this is hard to watch. This is really hard to watch. Good foul by him. That's just a transition foul. You need to you save a bucket here. You might get a foul. It might be closer to the bonus, but and there he is. Yeah, he's kind of skinny. It's a skinnier frame than I would like. I'd wish he had a little bit more upper body. But he's long. He's just a tall kid. Did they take him out? I was still in. He was against the press. See if they get him any action. I like that play. He's kind of a stander. He stands and watches a little too much offensively. My God, Louisville. This is painful. This is painful to watch. He's always looking to shoot. He's clearly... He tries to stay in shooting position. He hasn't gotten the ball yet a lot. Oh, they're in man. They're not in zone. I think they're rotating. I'm not sure. There's Sky Clark. Tre's doing a lot of watching. There's not a lot of off-ball movement. And that's what he's more or less going to be asked to do in Brad Underwood's offense. It's not an offense that's entirely reliant on off-ball movement. There's plenty of times where they just force the ball to the player they want to have it, so they can create mismatches, on driving kick situations, driving two type of thing, and just drawing enough help to open up space for other players. Tre again. Sky Clark, interesting player. I don't know. I was never a huge fan of his game, but he proved to be a scorer this year. It was annoying that he quit on the season so early last year. He missed a whole season of development. It really hurt him. The turnovers for Louisville are insane in this game. I can't take it. But yeah, Sky Clark hurt a lot because I had high hopes for Sky Clark at Illinois. I thought him and Jaden Epps were going to be great. It's a 1-2 type of combination, but when one was playing bad, the other one would play well. It was kind of it was a nice mix. Jaden Epps really stepped up at times, and then they both transferred. It just made no sense to me, Tre White even in the game? Yeah, he is. He's very, in this game at least, I mean, this is an elite team. You know, this is a really good North Carolina team who's undefeated in the ACC at this point in the season. This is like early ACC season. So, they are in man. Tre's, he's looking help side, but he's not like impacting the play. Good box out there. At least keeping his man out of the paint. Jeez, that guy's how much does that guy sweat?
8 minutes to go in this first half. 14-point lead for Carolina.
All right, Tre White. Here we go. Woo! Okay, there we go. There's some Marcus Damas booty ball type stuff. So he gets ball top key off a down screen. Here comes another screen. He gets around it. So he's on Baycott. He's got a man trailing him. He's got the roll. This is a good roll. But he realizes he has space here. And he keeps his he's playing that booty ball right there, boxing out his defender, giving him enough space to jump left and shoot on that short side bank. Really nice play there. I want to see his shooting here, off angle. So that's much better. Like, he is very straight up in terms of his mechanics. He gets really good extension on his shots. And I think it's like he's an accurate shooter from what I've seen so far. And that's shooting off platform. Getting bumped. That's a really nice play. Okay. There's some things I like so far. I mean, it's not perfect. But if you're looking at this guy, you got to be thinking, like, this is a guy that I can develop in some ways offensively, I think. Offensively, I think he's got some talent. Not a great closeout there. So he bites hard on the pump fake, leaves his feet. He's pretty fast, like, getting back to his feet, but
they're 1% better this year than they were last year. Anything knows they're not anywhere close to where they need to be, where they want to be. But, I mean,
and guys, we are going to be doing these streams every night, probably for I don't know. Probably until portal season's over.
They can be dangerous, as they showed against Miami. They have to be able to score, and they haven't shot the ball particularly well.
This isn't like necessarily the only game we're going to watch tonight.
Obviously, you can't turn it over, and they're playing at North Carolina. A lot of people struggle in this building, right? Well, especially when this team.
Okay, they took Tre White out. Oh, he's back in. Wait a minute. Was he in the whole time? They took him out for one play. Or two plays. Okay, he's back in the game. So, yeah, he definitely favored him. I was kind of surprised this North Carolina team was so good last year.
He only had 6 total 3-point baskets in ACC play. Answer at the foul line, rims in for Scott Clark.
So his role in this offense, Tre White, is essentially it's like a stretch 3. You know, he's clearly looking to come off ball screens and shoot. Like, he's a catch and shoot guy. I like that about him. The Illinois didn't have like a ton of players like that last year, where they could come off ball screens and just fire. That's kind of a new wrinkle.
Davis gets into the lane, the defense is forced to collapse, and Orlando goes to the line. He's got and the first one good.
That's a new wrinkle to that Underwood offense.
Sunday, all on ACC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. So cards and heels on the ladies' cards.
I want to see him get the ball more. They're keeping this like within striking distance. Now he's a 1-3-1. He's not bad on help. Like he's at least aware. He seems like he has a good sense of awareness in terms of like where I need to be when the ball's in this area. Like he doesn't like here he is dropping. I wouldn't leave Bacot alone, but so yeah, he shows good spatial awareness. I think this this Louisville defense just is under-equipped with talent. Like they just don't have a ton of stuff here. Okay, there is off-ball screen, and they run a couple actions. I hate that set play. Run through. So he does so much standing and watching. Like offensively.
And once he got up in the air, he had to do something with the ball. They're fortunate to keep it. 17 to shoot.
Their inbound plays have been just atrocious. The amount of bad inbound plays these guys have showed. So let's Tre here. This is a big set. I mean, they really need to calm the crowd down. Baseline screen, they send it over. They have him post. This is literally Marcus Damask. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I'm a fan of his game. He's got a bag. He's got a bag. So this is a different action than the last like 3 times. They have a baseline screen. They send one down. Send that guy up. They're in the triangle. Send the baseline through. Pass over. They get a post up here. And he does post up. He gets good post up positioning. Kind of jumps out too much. Gives him a little bit of space here. With 2 dribbles. Drop step. 2 pound. I would like to see him finish that. But, like, again, he's not a huge guy. This is not a huge player.
We're talking about the fact you got to get the ball in bounds, and he just threw this one up in the air. Cadeau ready to do that, James.
Let's go back and watch that one more time. Like, he's not a big guy. He's really rather like skinny in terms of his frame, but in traffic, couldn't finish. There's things that I like about his game for sure. Like he's shown a little bit of everything so far. I mean, he's only had 3 shots. And to be fair, this didn't. Let's watch his free throws. Did I miss one? Yeah, he's got some things I like here. He's got a pure shot. Like he's got good balance. He's got good base. He extends the arm too. Like I always say, like that's such a big thing to me. 12, like 13 and 6, like that's really solid. As a sophomore on like a bad team. Oh, what were they just saying? High percentage of their points from the line and in conference play, they just haven't been able to get that very high. Oh, they're talking. I thought they were talking Tre White. All right. Back to defense. Loses his man here. Has to do like a very dramatic switch. They're in that shell. He's just playing baseline. He doesn't impact the defense that much. All right, here's a 3. So, okay. I like his shot, but look at this set here. Look where the ball is. He's got a good base, but from this point, from here where he brings the ball down, so he brings the ball down, he's got a ton of space. He can definitely give himself like a half second here to kind of set, but by the time he brings the ball up, Like, it's a long windup. He's got to have the ball high because he puts it so far behind his ear. And let's see, why did he miss this shot? So, looks like a decent follow through. He clearly just missed and didn't put enough leg. So maybe, I don't know. Doesn't look like the purest 3-point stroke. I think he's going to be better mid-range. If we are losing Damask, we as in the University of Illinois, he feels like a pretty obvious replacement to me. He's not the Guerrier replacement. I don't know where that came from. He could play like a stretch 3 or 4, but I feel like he's more of that Damask, run the offense through his ability to play in the painted areas and under the 3-point line. Did they take him out? No, he's in the game still. Good hands. Forgot what I was doing for a second. Yeah, they have to get actions to get him the ball. It's kind of frustrating. But I think he does have potential. I don't like how he's used entirely in this offense. Just a lot of standing. We should watch some Damask games, see if what the differences are and how he might be utilized in this offense. I do like this North Carolina team. I think they're going to be good next year too. Oh, okay. So he's missed 2 threes. This one was a better shot. But look, I don't think he's a 3-point shooter. He's not. His windup is so long. This is a good form though. Like, he's totally straight up. He doesn't bring it so far back in this one. And he's constantly shuffling. Like, he's constantly trying to move into dangerous areas. And he has good form, like in terms of the 90 degree, the L on his shot. He gets straight up. He's got pretty good weight distribution. That should have gone in. He just missed that. Like, that just was unfortunate, it looked like, but that looked like a better shot than the previous one. My biggest issue is how far he brings the ball down when he catches. He's catching it too low. Well, actually, here he catches it high. He should, from this position, be able to go up. And he would have so much space between him and this defender who's going to try and close out. Like, he has a wide open shot here. Because of his windup, this guy gets to have a jump and a contest. So it might change the trajectory of his shot. But nonetheless, that's the one thing. Like, I would love to see him catch it higher because he has a good shot at either way. I feel like he might need the windup to get that good weight distribution on a shot, but either way, he's got a nice shot. Like, in terms of the mechanics of it all, I would say like it's proficient. It's going to be able to make some shots. He's going to be able to make some shots. Defensively, He's played like the whole half. He came out for like maybe a few minutes. No help there. You can't. That's just an unfair matchup. You have to come down and help on that. You got to get your arm in the paint or something. I think that's a misread on defense. He kind of lets. He's not drifting in the areas I would like to see him drift in terms of his help defense. Here he comes again, a down screen. Action doesn't work, so they set up something else. They get ISO ball, corner three. Connor Williams is a good shot. Man, I'm glad Sky Clark's not in Illinois. He's a good scorer. Like he definitely has potential to be a scorer, but as a facilitator, I don't know. I don't know. Tre White hasn't. I don't know. I feel like he hasn't been given the opportunity. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Okay. He's got ball. He kind of has a long dribble. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of him dribbling. I want to watch that again. So it's the pickup dribbles. Like he has the shorter dribble, but then he like almost carries. It's the carry dribble that I'm just like, it's very elongated. Like boom, like you clearly know he's making a move here. And right there, like a guy gets his arm in his driving lane, and he's like, it's clear like where he's going with it. I think he's going to be easy to pick that off. I don't think you want him front facing dribbling at people. You'd rather have him try and do the booty ball. Can we find another name for booty ball? By the way, I don't want to keep saying that. It's accurate. It's an accurate statement, but it's not. Doesn't sound great, I guess. Ooh, there's Sky Clark for you. That's what you want him to be. That's a good shot. Real quick. Because this guy's going somewhere else too. I wish he was still in Illinois, to be honest. Good jump. Good weight distribution. Yeah, that's a good shot right there. That was clean. That was just a clean shot. If he's definitely a net negative in this game, but he has potential. He has potential. That's how I feel about Tre White. Like some of these Louisville guys. Oh, I gotta sneeze. I don't have a sneeze button. I'm sorry. So that was a good defensive possession from Tre White. He's usually running. He's kind of a little slow in terms of following his defenders, but he's athletic enough to stay with these guys. Like I said, he has decent awareness. Like he can build off that. And he's out of the game now. Is he not a starter? Truthfully speaking, he was the best player that half for Louisville. It was just they didn't have anything going in terms of their set plays. They had nothing towards the basket. Like so few things were going towards the basket there. So I don't think he's going to play much. This unit's playing at least plus minus on this run here. Why wasn't Huntley Hatfield playing in the first half? He's the only guy who's big cut size. Wait, is his name Caleb? All right, two more things. Is he not in still? I don't know if does he play the second half? Oh, I guess it's still early. There he is. Okay. Here's the booty ball. I don't think that should have counted, but he definitely grabbed the net there. He kind of goes reckless abandon here. Let's watch his play though. So he starts out on the off wing. They run this little set. And he just gets the matchup in space. They get ISO. He goes to the back down. And then he just forces his way into the lower block position. And he's got a smaller guy. I mean, that's literally Damask. I mean, that's literally Marcus Damask. I wouldn't be surprised if Thunder would watch this game. Nice play, though. I mean, I like that part. If a player can incorporate that into his game, especially in college, I think it's super effective in college. Because, sometimes you don't want these kids shooting a million threes. Louisville's ball handling is just, it's rough. Outside of Sky's, dribbling, it's pretty rough. Way corner three. See, the windup is slow. That's the only thing that I really kind of worry about. And the other thing, he's not really looking to dish when he has the ball. He's pretty singularly focused on scoring when he has the ball in his hand. He's not looking for drivers. He's not really playing that cross-court action game. A lot of baseline defense here. He's in that survey role where you're kind of like the captain of the defense, where you can have the best view of everyone on the floor. Close game. Not a close game, but closer than it was, at least. I did think the ACC was not as good this year, but then NC State and Duke made an Elite Eight. Clemson made an Elite Eight. There was some good. They had some good, better teams than I thought. I did think NC State would go far. That was one thing I was really correct on. I had them in the Elite Eight. I didn't have them go in the Final Four, but I'll take Elite Eight. Tre White, man, he's got to get coached. I feel like he's not getting coached here at Louisville on what to do offensively or how to get. He has good spatial awareness on defense. It should be similar on offense. His main action is just baseline to wing, with not a lot of ingenuity or creativity there, not a lot of fakes. The screens have been weak. The offense has been weak. I don't know. I feel like he could use deception more. He could use back screens more. I'm not a huge fan of this offensive setup here. Here comes an inbound play. If they don't... Oh, my God. So bad. They've been really terrible with the inbound plays. Tre. Okay. So he's not a bad spot shooter. But look, they got a double here. There's two on, so he's going to get a free shot. Catches the ball here. Brings it down, though. I hate that, but either way, He gets a good shot. Again, he has all the makings of a player who can make some threes with the enough runway. Like if I feel like if his shot is altered at all, he's gonna struggle. But he's ready to shoot. Like when he's sitting out here, he's thinking shoot. Like he's not thinking drive at all. He's thinking I'm gonna get this and shoot. And I really like his release. Like in terms, like outside of where he starts his shot, where he ends it, I think is really solid. Here's a good double. There's some good spatial, and then he gets back. That was a nice play. That's what I like to see. This is a bad matchup though, and yeah, he's gonna get beat. He goes for the steal, but don't do that reach there. Kind of a bad. Like when people say Guerrier, I don't see Guerrier at all. He is tall, but he's not beefy like Guerrier. And he's not as much of a consistent shooter as Guerrier, I think, at least on what I'm seeing. He does like to stand at the three though. He loves standing at that 3-point line. But and I don't. And the other thing, what I was gonna say was he can't really guard these guys. Like that's not. He can guard like a 2 and a 3. I think he can guard like a bigger 3. But if he has to defend like that, there's no way. He can't stand someone up. You know, he's not that strong. It's his smaller frame. So let's go. Oh, it's Tyler Hansbrough. I haven't really been listening. All right, there's some interesting action. So down screen here. They do another down screen. Here's some interesting movement at the top here. Another screen. Woo! Okay, dude. I like this kid. I think he's good. I think this is a good, solid signing for the Illini. I really do. Because look at this. So this was their most interesting action I've seen them run all night. So they do the down screen to get Tre White with the ball at the top of the key or at the wing position. They have 3-2 on this side. So weak side is very spaced out. And look where all the defenders are. They're pushed up. They got Baycott up to the key, and they got a ball screen or a off-ball screen for Tre White here to either cut down or cut across, open up the floor, keep Baycott in a bad spot. And now they have the slower defender getting picked, and this is one of the better picks, really uses that pick well. That's a great pick there. And he's already running with the ball, gets the pass well, is ready to shoot, just goes right into it. So I think he's better, way better catch and shoot than he is set shooting. Because that's kind of like the natural instinct is to catch low and shoot. Like you have to, the way you catch it and shoot, like in that singular motion, you kind of have to drop the ball a little bit. So I feel like it's more conducive to his specific shot style. So off-ball screens, and he likes them too. Like he clearly is looking for them constantly. I'm impressed. I think he looks like the best player on Louisville. The only issue, I think, defensively, he's going to have some problems. And he's not going to play as many minutes at Illinois. He's not going to play nearly as many minutes. I think he's like at 30 minutes in these this season. I think he could go down to like 20 to 25. Unless, he's becomes a really good, a next level scorer or something like that. They made this close. Damn. What was that? That was a weird play. They made this close. A lot of it is Tre White, honestly. He's been playing, he's had a good second half. Offensively, I see it. I definitely see it. So here's him in the full court. It's a full court man pickup. He's just baseline guy. He doesn't get a lot of opportunity to guard on ball. Wow, that was a really good pass. I didn't even see that. Really good. I will say Tre kind of. I mean, he could have maybe gone for like a pass block, but he's probably thinking the three is open, so that's why he like hedged and recovered really quickly there.
He sees Withers making the cut from the corner. Nobody else did. That's really a nice job by Davis.
RJ Davis, man, that kid's good. That kid is good. Yeah, like I feel like this Louisville team had to go small a lot, and then it just put a lot of pressure on Tre White to defend guys he's just not at that size for, to be frank. He looks smaller than he is. At least not compared to this guy, but like he looks like he's like 6'5". He doesn't look 6'7", at least on tape. He does have decent vertical though. Like I like his jumping ability. So how did they come back in this? This game felt over. That was a rough. His shot isn't my favorite. Speaking of shots, it's kind of like weird knee, not squared up. Did they take Tre out? No, he's still in. Ooh. So now Tre, similar set. He's just sitting in corner. He's just literally sitting in shooting position. Action happening on the other side. What do they call? I'm not paying attention to that. All right, let's watch another defensive possession. So yeah, Tre just does a ton of baseline sitting. He's really just not impacting the play. Like he's not hedging a ton. And that's one of those situations where you kind of ask, like, he's not really impacting it negatively or positively. So, like, what is he doing? He's not taking risk at all. Like, he took some, and I think they almost worked out, but they also then ended up, putting him in a bad spot matchup-wise. So, it's a little bit of everything. Offensively, he's definitely got some skill. Like, I can see why he was highly recruited. Before going to USC, he has some offensive ability. So I think there's things to work with here. That's what I see. I definitely see the promise. Do I think he's going to be like an all Big Ten player next season? I doubt it. I don't necessarily see him as like a Damask improver, like a guy who, Damask has played so many years already. He went to Illinois, already having a ton of experience and being like the best player on that Salukis team. The other thing about Tre White's defense, it's like his man hasn't even touched the ball, like at all. Like, not because of his defense per se, but they just have not been targeting that side of the floor in any capacity. I feel like they'll have to use him much differently at Illinois to really unlock his potential. Sky, that's just not a good possession. I'm being highly critical of Sky. I'm still a little bitter, but he's had an up and down game. I would say he's been a net negative overall. And look, Tre White just not doing a whole lot down here as the play kind of develops. Again, not a good or bad thing. He shouldn't leave his man wide open or something like that, but I don't know about this. Yeah, I don't know about that one. All right, here's some Tre action. So, having to guard the power forward. ISO ball. Can he do this? Good D. Okay, that was better. He's not getting muscled there. He's not getting absolutely muscled this time. Bad box out, though. Just hold your ground there, man. That was a bad box out. And then not fronting. Good read, though. He's like, he saw the man coming. Kind of a weak call. He definitely got him body. He just wasn't in front of him. So he's got a lot of fouls, but not bad overall defensively. I actually think, like I said, he's got decent awareness. He played that back down situation so much better than the first time, where the first time he got out leveraged, out bodied, just like he didn't have a lot of options there. That action at the top is so pointless. Good hands. That wasn't on him. But more or less what I was just trying to say was he shows promise in areas. Like there's times where I'm like, I don't know, he looks okay. And then there's other times where I'm like, that was really solid. So the action is to him. It's a ball screen down, or it's a run through. No, it is a ball screen or an off screen. The trailing man just stays. So this is a bad read by the center. They got lucky. I like that play to get him the ball, though. If it would have worked, but you can absolutely see that coming. Rim defending is so important in college basketball. It really is. The best teams can just defend the crap out of the rim. So finally, Tre White's man has the ball here. He's just playing on. I mean, there's nothing to say. He's just denying the entry. A lot of foul trouble on just dumb fouls. Loose ball stuff. I hate that. Hate it. So I mean, this North Carolina team is like twice as big as this Louisville team. Nice. Sky Clark. I like Sky Clark's shot, I will say. Wow, that was an impressive shot, I will say. Tre was, he's just not doing a whole lot. Kind of secondary defender. Here he is with the ball, so the ball screened down. There he is running to the basket. I haven't seen a whole lot of that. Yeah. So let's see who that's on. There should be some backside help, but great read by Bacon. Like, clearly the Louisville center and White had no understanding of the play. Great set, just a great set. Look, that was just terrible defense. How did that happen? I think it might have been Tre White. There should be a guy back down there. I'm sorry, there should be someone left their man. I think it was 0. I think it was Cameron Johnson, whatever his name is. Armando. So not the best play. I don't think necessarily it was Tre White's fault, but it was someone's fault, and someone should have recognized it, is the thing. Like, someone should have seen that play developing, but they did not. All right. So he goes long stretches of nothing and then long stretches of something in terms of his production offensively. Travel. I would love to see him get the ball a little bit more. Like, he's getting the ball way up here. Do we want him to get the ball up here? Why is he getting the ball up here? That's not his spot. My goodness. Sky giving us a little bit of something tonight. He's got a really nice shot. He's very confident with it, too. Good footwork. He's pointed towards the basket. Good follow through. His release is really strong, too. You can see his hand. The way he positions his hand at the end of his follow through is really solid. 4 for 4. That's very promising. A team who gets Sky is going to get some benefits off that. That is a fast release. The step back right into it. Pretty straight up, has to finish following back. I didn't mean to turn this into a Sky Clark recruiting video, but it's somewhat turned into that. I mean, I was really high on Sky Clark before he transferred, man. I was so, there's me and my buddies, we really thought that kid could be pretty good. I thought he would have been great on the team this year. It's very sad that he had to leave because he would have been a great piece on this team. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna wallow in it. I'm not mad about it. I think he would be mad about it. As Louisville was bad and the Atlanta were not bad. They're good. I did not watch that possession. am I going? Where am I going? Tre White pops out. Just this offense is disgusting. Not a fan. It's not disciplined either. Kind of a weak cut there. Trying to go baseline. That was a weak call. I want to see him box out. He's got some jumping ability. It's the physical element of it, of a box out. I don't know if it's entirely there. Yeah, not a lot of boxing out there. A lot of just aggressive jumping. Like, we don't need to jump that much. He seems to have good positional awareness, where to be. Like, he's not out of position too often, but I don't know. He's just not the bulkiest guy in the paint, and a team like this will, eat him up. And they haven't really eaten him up necessarily, quote unquote, but they've been able to get what they want in the paint, especially on rebound opportunities, especially on, like, look at the free throw distribution. It's because these guys are getting inside, and Lugo's not doing that. Despite all that, they're only down 9. It's mostly because their guard play has been good. Good play. Once again, I'm not a huge fan of his perimeter play. Tre White. Clark was firing. I mean, he should have had the green light at this point. Not a lot of help. He's just not doing a lot defensively here. He's not really helping too much. I won't say he's lazy necessarily. He's just not pitching in. You can only play your area, but you also have to find ways to impact defensively. Like, that's what the best defenders do. There we go. Dive for That's a guy who loves basketball right there. That's what I'll say. He loves the game. All right. Well, I'm going to call it here.
I think he's played very well defensively for the Tar Heels as well. And then averaging just 11 minutes a game against the ACC. He's been a big factor tonight. He's doubled that number. Here's Clark on the drive. Missed the layup.
Clark.